And now, here's your host, Rod Harder, with another SMC Marketing Minute Profit Tip.
Hey, welcome back. It's Rod Harder, part of the Marketing You Can Do Right Now podcast. We're doing a 4-part series on real lead generation. So if you're picking up part 4 before you've listened to the other parts, well, it would behoove you to go back and listen to them. I'm not going to do much recapping here. I'm going to pick up where we left off. By the way, this is probably the most comprehensive series I've put together on this podcast for lead generation. So you should not just listen to this once. You should listen to it several times until you get a real good feel for the power of this. You know, we often talk about on this program that a true entrepreneur builds on the back of their core business other businesses. So as you release products and services in the future, you can have a lead generation for each one of those. And imagine that over the next couple of years, having 2 or 3 or 5 of these, each doing a different thing, marketing to a different segment. Incredibly powerful. Let's talk about your lead generation system. It is completely automated once you get it up and running. And that includes people putting in their own contact information. I mean, they're doing all the work for you. When you stop and think about it, it is amazing that your lead generation system will actually reach out and find invisible prospects throughout your community or the region or the U.S. and ask them to identify themselves. They're going to raise their hands and make themselves visible to you, put themselves on a list that you can continue to communicate with. I mean, this is unbelievable. If you'll take the time to listen to this a few times and then build a plan, either do it yourself or with your staff. If you're on your own, reach out to somebody else who can help you. But make sure the person you trust knows lead generation and direct marketing to a scientific level. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of fast-talking, big-talking fanboys who pretend to know what they're doing. They'll take your money and you won't get results. Now, I've talked about in the last 4 parts here, including today, the benefits of having a lead generation system. So, let's talk about the yin and yang here. There are some problems and there are some solutions. What are the problems? Well, the biggest problem is it takes work. This doesn't just fall out of the sky and land on your shoulder. You have to really roll up your sleeves, make a commitment, get leverage on yourself, and decide. Make a decision. Set yourself a time frame, do it yourself, or reach out to somebody else. Another little problem for some people, they'll say it's complicated. Well, sure it is. That's why only top marketers in their profession are doing this. And the fact that it is complicated will stop 99% of your competitors from ever doing it. So you're sort of marketing your business in a vacuum. You're fishing in a very small pond. I will go as far as saying if you take the time and implement a real lead generation system like we've talked about here in these last 4 podcasts, I will be hearing from you. You might be calling me to ask for some help or to work together, or you may be calling me to share your success stories. But the fact of the matter is, I will be hearing from you. Make no mistake about it, a lead generation system that uses the psychological triggers that we just talked about over the last few days is a game changer. And it's forever. You get it as part of your business and you keep making it better and bigger. It keeps working for you around the clock. And the whole process, once done, totally automated. There are few things in business that really can say that. If you want to know more about lead generation and writing copy and direct response marketing, all of the things that fall under this umbrella, go back and listen to some of these other podcasts. We've got almost 130 of them here now. Many of them are just 4 or 5 minutes long. You can get your information and get on with your day and have that seed planted throughout your day. It's a wonderful way to get started. If you really want to be good at this, you should find somebody that you can get some mentorship with or consult with. I coach a lot of clients around the country. You can use my services or you can go somewhere else. Get good at this and you will quickly separate yourself from the pack. I want to leave you with one final thought about this, and this is a statement that goes back to 1937 from Napoleon Hill, who wrote the greatest business book ever, Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, he said that nobody has ever accomplished as much on their own as they will with a small group of like-minded people who get together with one goal, to help each other succeed. People who have no dog in your fight, no competition. They just want to see you be very successful, and in the meantime, you help them be very successful. If you'd like to know more how you can join one of my mastermind groups, let me hear from you. You can email me at rodharter@me.com. I'll put the email in the show notes here, or reach out to somebody else in your local community. But don't try this on your own. There's just too much at stake here. Well, that wraps up our 4-part series on lead generation. This is a very, very powerful 4-part series. So go back and listen to it over and over again until it becomes second nature for you. And when you do, well, I think you know what's going to happen. There is no denying it that you will go right to the top. Take care. Let me hear from you. I'd love to help you. Oh, and one more thing. If you want a copy of my book, Market the Bleep Out of It, email me and I'll send you a copy for $5. You can't beat that. All right, take care. Bye-bye.